Hey everyone, this is lesson 18 homework, and I did some cool stuff. I had to learn to get this to work through much more trial than error. But anyway, taking an RGB light and entering colors using the serial monitor and lighting up the RGB to that color, and then I handled some cases when the wrong color is put in or something. So, pretty cool. I defined some variables, quite a few here. This whole page basically, I defined each color that's defined, or requested here, plus an off. Actually, I think I changed that down there and forgot to update it. And then I ask a color and then handle a what if it was the wrong color. Set my hardware up, and then I loop through. I ask for the value being entered for a color, and then I go through a bunch of ifs on if it's one of the colors that are true options, including white and off. Off, yep, I'm doing low here instead of doing the off bright here, which I'll change that. But now that I figured out my problem, I could use it. And then the other thing is, if it's not any of those, I had to learn all this, but I generate a random set of 3 color or light numbers, and then I generate a random color and light that up, and I print the numbers that were generated. And I learned some really cool things with this. Anyway, here's my circuit. It is this. Hopefully you could see it's one light with 3 things. I'm using pins, I don't know, 3, 5, and 6. And we're going to run this bad boy. It's actually running, but yeah, so let's skip the compile. It's asking a color, so let's move all this junk out of the way. Sorry. Let's do red. Boom. How about orange? I have a little diffuser here that I threw out of the way. Oh, well, I don't know where it went, so never mind. Oh, here it is. It's hard to see the orange with that, but maybe you could see that. Yellow. Green. That looks green, but maybe that's more green. Blue. Cyan. Was it magenta? White. My white, I think, looks a little too blue, but I don't know. Anyway, off. Let's do, did I miss one? I don't think so, but we'll say red again. Now, what I want to do is say one that isn't a correct color, like pink. It made a blue thing. So here I say, says that wasn't a color, and there's the number 158097, and that's what this is. To me, it looks kind of magenta-ish. So let's do a different random thing like hello. And that's more of a pink thing. Anyway, this is the cool thing I learned. I just started putting in the alphabet. So A, B, C, D, E. It's summarizing. I'll show you what it's doing in a second. F, G, H, I. I'm hoping I get a red one. J, K, L. There's more pink. There's kind of a pink. M, N. So the code that's doing this is here. I'm taking the text which is my color, which is what was entered. And then I'm doing this thing where I take a number sum, which is set to 0, and then I take the character for each letter in the color, or whatever string was passed, the variable my color. I take the ASCII of it and I add it up. So I take the character, each character of the word, get the ASCII number, and then add them. And so obviously letters are certain ASCII characters, 64, 65, whatever. So then, if we move over to this one, which is, this one is to set random color by looping through the alphabet, because I wanted to see all the colors. So basically on this one, I set this alphabet variable, which is all the letters, lowercase then uppercase. I have a delay of 300 seconds. And then I'm just going to come down here and loop through the alphabet one at a time and change the color. So check this out as it runs. I'm going to hit run, and then it's going to compile, hopefully. Sorry, this video is getting long, but it's just cool learning I had that helped me to find a better pink, or I mean magenta color than what I had before. Okay, now what I'm going to do is enter a string, just whatever, and then let it loop through the letters. This is each letter of the alphabet for all the lowercase and then the uppercase, with 300 milliseconds in between each. So it sort of gives you an idea of what colors you can generate. It's not every color, but it's a bunch of random colors. They're finished, and you can see from this all the series of numbers. Pretty cool. Alright, nerd time is over. Take care.